Hello, I'm Roy Whiffin, and this is Roy's Rant again. Every now and again, I have to reiterate what the rants are all about. And can I say to the hundreds of people that watch these rants, and over the years, the thousands of people that have seen them, thank you very much. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate the feedback that I get as well. And talking on that, every now and again, there's always somebody that thinks they're better than you. You got sort of, I started 2 years ago, as I told you previously, about the red light cameras. And I think over the years, I saved a lot of people a lot of money because they were civil offences, and I told you that you didn't have to pay them, etc. And now we don't have any red light cameras at all, which is good. It was a tax on you. It had no validity as far as safety was concerned, etc., etc. And then people started to talk to me about other things in the city. Very expensive bridge to nowhere, a very expensive festival park, a very expensive speed bump, etc., etc., etc. And it became an education to me. And then we got into the schools and all that was going on, and I'll get to that again in a minute. But every now and again, there are people out there, I'm going to say I've been told I'm negative, but these people are so negative that it's unreal. All they want to do is have a go at me. They've never said anything positive in their life as far as helping the city out is concerned, or the county, or the state. You know, it's just, Roy, you got it wrong. Roy, that isn't how it happens. No, that's not the city, that's the county. No, that's not the county, that's the state, etc. I do not profess to know everything about everything. What I do is I look at what the problems are and I state them. Now, sometimes it's like the roads. You know, is it a local road? Is it a county road? Is it a state road? And sometimes I get it wrong. But, you know, these people, and there's only 2 or 3 of them, and you can see them on Facebook on Fort Bend Concerns and Sugarland Concerns. That, you know, it's just a case of let's have a go at him and shut him up. Well, number one, you aren't going to shut me up. I can assure you of that. There are things going on in this city that I'm not going to shut up about. You know, there are 2 or 3 people that have told me to do other things, and I've been in the bathroom and tried them, and they don't work. So you shut up unless you've got anything that you can say constructively or educate me, like so many people have. And with Fort Bend ISD, the teachers have been a very good form of education for me and what's going on with Charlie Boy Dupree, etc. And talking of that, do you know this man has reneged on an agreement and promise to rebury our 95 slaves? He said that he was going to do it, and he was going to put $1 million towards it. And now he's saying no. And this is how he does his work. It's how he's done things in the past, and it's probably how he's going to do things in the future. You know, he's called Deceptive Dupree for a reason. Go on Fort Bend ISD Concerns and read some of the reports there from teachers, ex-teachers, parents. You know, the children started back at school. There was one parent that sent me some stuff saying that her son was bullied all last year, and first day back at school, the same child was bullying this child again. No, it had been reported. The police had done nothing. Charlie Boy Dupree did nothing other than count his money. You know, it just goes on and on these days with that sort of thing. It's unbelievable. And I got the information with regard to the new animal shelter. And one of those negative guys that just wants to have a go said, well, that's been out there for months. He'd been having a go at me for months. He'd never said anything about it. So, you know, up yours. But anyway, I looked at this, and it's one of these deals that if this shelter is necessary, and by the way, there's only 90 cages there for animals in the new one. So looking at the figures that they're giving out at the moment for the old ones, it looks like you're going to have a lot of animals in each cage, which I didn't think was the way that it went. But if you did tilt walls for this building, you could cut the cost down considerably. And the other thing, when I looked at the drawings there, does this 6.6 million cover the cost of fitting it out? Or is it just the cost of the building? You know, we've got a budget coming up at the moment. They say, oh, well, the budget is only 243 million. And then they say, oh, by the way, we need another 40 million for this. And then we're going to need a bond for 90 million for this. So this year, the city is looking to take out of your pocket nearly $400 million. It's funny in one way, it's terrible in another, that they just take and spend. And it's not on things, it's not on the people of Sugarland. It's just on what they think should be. You know, as I say, like our deal in the past, our bridge to nowhere for 10 million, and it cost 21 million. Anyway, I'll go back as it's coming up shortly and remind you to get your $100 out for your raffle a wreck. $100 to get it, $1,500 to insure it, and probably a lot more to maintain it. And as I told you in the past, Sugarland Rotary had spent around about $150,000 on entertaining themselves out of your charity money. And this had been overseen by the past district governor and past president Jeff Tallis. And somebody said to me, well, who's Jeff Tallis? And so this is Jeff Tallis, or this is how he likes to be known. And with that, I'll say goodbye, and with God's blessing, I'll talk to you next week.